times, man.
What up, though? Hello, Flipside Records.
Hey.
Hi. Thank you guys for having me. I am Koffee Dark and Sweet. And I know, what's your name again?
Oh, Chris.
Chris. Chris just did an amazing job hyping everybody up. Yeah. Music. Yes. I appreciate the energy. Very thorough, very thorough. I am going to do poetry.
All right.
Yeah. So it's okay because I still got a little,
Mama.
I still got a little rhythm
We're here for work.
with what I do. So we're going to have a good time. I'm a supernova force. Hey, be a plug that cut off because it's a never-ending source and never just the one-off. See, I'm the fabric, we the cloth. I only hang around bosses. I don't take no lumps of losses. It's all a part of the process. It's a part of the flow. And if you just go along, the more you see, the more you know, the more you read, the more you spell, and we be casting. Missiles blasting out our mouths because we don't stop. We just pass go. It ain't no asking. I'ma take it because it's mine. It was given to me by God. And even if you don't get it, tap your feet and catch a nod because this here be that rhythm. Tip, tap, and boom, clack. Ain't never had no setbacks. I get to work and put my back in it, my soul in it. Be rocking back and forth and seeing ghosts and shit. Ancestors showing up in smoke. My spirit doing the most and shit. I got them hymns up in my kundalini. I got the sauce. I'm about to change my name to fettuccine. I write in the scripture. I'm the doctor, steady aligning chakras. And my daughters, they some mini-me's. I'm cold with it, like the flu, but I'm the remedy. The way I wrap my arms around you, you'd have thought you was some kin to me. Can't help but be a friend to me. And I'm giving it right back. Reciprocity make me, and you can get the mop for that. Ain't a thing that exists that's not for me, and I'ma have it. And when push come to shove, I don't fret, I push past it. I am black girl magic. I be conjuring and scheming, trying to buy myself a crib big enough to fit my dreams in. I ain't here for no games, but this life it be a playscape. I write these woes in my words. See, poetry is my escape, and I'm not ever too late. I woke up like this. I'm ready. I like garlic on my bread and sausage in my spaghetti. I be eating, flipping wrists, whipping. I be eating, flipping wrists, whipping. I was made for this. I'ma go until I quit, and I don't be out here quitting. I'm not choking. I'm just spitting. Mic wet, I said too much, I'm hard like a pop quiz and still too soft for you to touch, can't grab a hold. I know I'm gold, the light is shining from inside of me. Any jealousy, let it go, I ain't the boat. It ain't no ride of me, I'm the goat. It ain't no hide of me, I'm bound to see. You think I really care if you're not proud of me? I don't be wasting energy on people out here doubting me. You met me where I'm at, but you ain't got to where I'm about to be. Poem. That piece is called Gold. It's not published yet, but I do have 2 books. Everybody say 2 books.
2 books. 2 books.
It is Juneteenth today. Do y'all raise your hand if you know what Juneteenth is? Oh, that's everybody. Yay. No?
Good.
No?
Not the exact
Okay.
full-on history.
Not the exact full history. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. The Emancipation Proclamation happened in whatever year that it happened. Don't remember. And then,
Okay.
everybody couldn't read necessarily. And for the people who were still enslaved that didn't have, access to that information, they went on for, I think it was 2 extra years. Still, they hid that information from them, and exactly. And it wasn't until 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation that all of the slaves were, or knew that they were free and could access that freedom. So today is about freedom. Yes. And this book is very special to me. It's my favorite one so far, because it is a love letter to that freedom. It is a call to action for us to realize our natural selves and, uncondition or recondition ourselves into the monumental greatness that we actually are. Because as far as I'm concerned, I ain't never been a slave, and I don't know a single one. I don't. You know what I'm saying? That's not who we are. That's not where our history starts.
Right.
And we have always been free. We may have been held captive, but we were never slaves. Yes. Okay. So let's see. So a lot of the poems in my books have come from, I wrote them when I was a child.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they're like a, you know, I've been writing poems since I was 4. So, and they have the year that they were written, like, in the book. So you can have access to, you know, my life through prose. This one that I'm about to do now is called Black. Black is not a single color. It's like a rainbow without layers. A muse, mastering peace, making good use of the blues, broken crayons overused, dotting I's and checking boxes, contorting compressed oppression into colorful comfort. I propose we stop. You ain't gotta check that box. You're not even black. You are brown or tan, milk, chocolate, overtones of olives, yellows, red to the bone, bold and still mellow, African American, yet y'all grandma can't recall y'all heritage. All she remembers is tragedy, spinning golden glimpses of our magic within society's puppet strings. Severing ties with Africa, as we subscribe to textiles, they pick apart the fabric of our minds, falsifying paradigms, lying on time so the good old days masquerade as history. Black and white screenings for projections of misery, perpetuating crises so the opposition is identity and we trade consciousness with paper energy. Out of our minds with our own imaging. Can't imagine self beyond the limiting reflections offered in glimpses of broken water between the lands of the free. Got my auntie on a box of pancakes selling that image back to me that I co-signed with notes from dead men who supported slavery. Provided by a white shepherd to a flock of black sheep, never respected, never accepted, just herded into ghettos, condemning us all to hell and too afraid to say hello. How long we gonna keep stroking the American facade, putting ourselves aside for a slice of American pie that we can't even stomach, regurgitating the lack of substance through multimedia streams, compromised when it's directed and distributed by the enemy, cornering our differences, blacking out possibilities, complicating our complexions to determine our capabilities. We have to create definition with strategy, sketch our intent so we don't cry over spilled ink that's been used to choose boxes, selecting which flavor of oppression we'd like to collect our debt in, objectifying our own objectives as long as it keeps us flexing and we stretch ourselves thin, like watercolors, wanting to fade into the shades of our canvas without diving deep into its texture, skating by, buying into the separation of self and our egos, stroke us out of our own art so eloquently. Reframing the bigger picture until the black border becomes so thick, the colors are hard to see. And we lack the span of attention to picture our own intentions and become as worldly as the box has conditioned us to be.
You don't waste a word. I love that. You don't waste not one word. Ooh. Man, that was good. That I got good.
This next piece is called Complex. It kind of gets into pretty much what I've been saying this whole time. Started with gold because I feel like if we look past the caricature of blackness, then we discover so many layers and so many complexities within ourselves, and we can be whatever we want to be. So this is complex. If you could break the surface tension of your deep, relentless pigments, would you drown in wonder at the essence of you? Can you sit with your raw materials and talk numbers? I mean, simple, like 2 + 2. How many worlds would you discover in the places you have been? If you dive into your skin, you can wash away your sins. Know that you are born just perfect and that every story's worth it when you're reading for the sake of the lore. How many pails of water could you draw if you took a second just to gawk into the wells of your own pores? Should you be squeezed into a tiny sentence of life, let's say 400 years, and could hold the salt collected from every collective tear, even still, would you throw it over your shoulder? If you look into your name, you might die from all the pain, but at least you'll know your name when it's all over. The information has been jailed, calcified in your own cells, but we be scared to open up those golden gates. I can't account for all the hours we've been in fear of our own power, and I think it's time we stage a prison break. Okay, we're gonna take a break from being black, right? And we're gonna be blue.
Okay, it don't work like that though.
I roll over and roll up, rolling through my life every day is a turn up. If you see me out, say hi. I'm not tripping, I'm anxious, or probably I'm just high, and I'm thinking about space stuff. Swear I'll be spaced out. Daydreaming, but I live everything that I dream about. So I'ma smoke some more so I can make some new dreams now. I'm trying to touch the world in ways that's never been seen now. Going hard for the cake, the grind delivers the cream now. Ain't no high horses, let's no horses smoking too. I'm just trying to medicate and meditate with you. I got some wedding cake and some rust and some glue. Roll it in a red game and I'ma blow till I'm blue. I gotta go to work in about a half an hour, so I guess I'm a blaze while I'm singing in the shower. You know I love to cook, I'm baking up, you bring the flour, baby. It's a potluck, my nigga Leesky got that sour. And I'ma hit up Suki, cause I know she got that feel good. We gon' match a couple grams and roll it in the backwood. We be setting plays, we ain't lucky, we just that good. We want all the smoke, pull up on us when we in your hood. And we gon' blaze you down, Ada Eddie, and I swear I'm feeling hazy now. Smoke sativa, so I'm never getting lazy now. Swear I'm sane, but I know I got a crazy style. Can't pin me down. But I'm talking about them grains, I got them strains, got you thinking outside your brain and blow it out. I'm not talking about Kurt Cobain, I'm talking about got you driving in all 4 lanes, open your mind, free you up from all them angles. Right out here, I got the fruit, but ain't none of it strange. I'm trying to help you unplug and get you out of the matrix. And we gon' fly like we was born with them wings, cause we get so high. Eyes red like they cherries getting baked in a pie. Sitting somewhere fantasizing about tasting the sky. Got that heat frosted out like snowflakes in July. You feel me? My brain overactive. I smoke so I can keep myself from overreacting. Weed got me moving slow, but I'm about that action. Catch me at flip side where we be puff puff pass. Okay. And I'm spoken the word. Had to break the sentence down because I be smoking the verbs. Smoke all up in my lungs and I don't choke on a word. And I know what I know, so I don't care what you heard. Yeah. And I feel so free. And I love when I can chill and I can just be me. So I'ma wrap my lips around a couple of trees. And when I blow, it's all smoke. Shotguns in the breeze.
We need to get you in the studio. Keep it a bean, for real. Nah, I gotta do like
I do a little something, something.
She's cool. She's
So, a poem is called Blue, but we all know weed to be green. Greens, such a magnificent color, means so many things. Unfortunately, ain't enough land to grow greens, and ain't no real food at the store. See, it don't take a lot to feel rich when all you've ever been is poor. So we pretend to be blind, can't stomach the truth when we still eating lies. Slavery was never outlawed, it's just commercialized. Don't have to force you to be a slave when it's a blessing to get a job. Thank the Almighty for the dollar, which is the head of our lives, and promise to stay faithful, focused, and sanctified. They printing masters' faces onto green paper to convince us that we are free. We still swinging from trees. I mean, can you do what you please? Or do we be steady mobbing them time clocks? Sun up to sundown, we be caught up in these wage locks, paid by the hour. We can't afford our own time. Overseer gonna crack the whip if we don't clock in on time. And we ready to die for these greens. They got us tied to a system. We seeing work as the mistress. We can't even dive in our dreams. It takes a second to spend $20 and an hour to get it. Then they take taxes out. Now look what we left with. They robbing us. And we struggling to find value when we depleted. Can't take over the world when your energy is defeated. Not when you working hard like a slave. Don't sleep. Can't blink, they taking hours from our minutes, turn our weeks into days. Now we sleepy, disconnected, sore, and our bodies hurting. All we can afford to do is go to sleep and work. Ain't got no time to invest into a life without stress, because we pay by the hour. They got us chained to a desk. They got us running in circles, worked more and paid less, and we going to profit is beating. These bills be whooping our ass, and these paychecks be bleeding. So let's get in to get out. Make your money your business. Restore value in yourself like it's a present for Christmas. Stop signing up to be a slave to a check. Can't turn a little to a lot when you be breaking your neck. We be punching these clocks. What an aggressive approach to time. Can't make money in your sleep if you not woke up in your mind. Boom.
Yeah.
Wait, say that one.
I said, we be punching these clocks. What an aggressive approach to time. Can't make money in your sleep if you not woke up in your mind.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Like I said, greens mean so many things. So I'm going to get into my first book. This is the first book I ever wrote. It's called Seasons. It's about life and death and all the transitions in between there. And I don't know who all eat greens in here, but I'm sure we can think of a person that, make the best greens in your family. And see, where is it? Whatever.
Oh, you those.
I remember her.
Sorry.
And for me, it was my mama. She had her own way of reasoning. Set a tone and table for every season, and I studied every seasoning. A luxury. Collard greens could bite anything, and if I was ever hungry, if I flicked my wrist just right, I could spin gold from grass, and the pieces that were mold were not wasted. What an honor to be homegrown, prayed over, made over and over again, acquainted with the spice of life, but the sweetness of brown sugar in my skin creates balance, and I stand up on my ability to bring infinite, definitive things out of one good pot of greens. Mothers are miracles. Children are miracles. Yes. Very, very divine orchestrations of intention. And if you look around you in the world, you can see evidence of mothers everywhere. With that being said, this piece is called Mahogany. She motivates manifestation, magic, danced as she stood tall. Together, we shook the world, loosed demons from our bones. We stretched, expressed respect. I recollect the connection where I learned work ethic. Jack of all trades, but dreams don't barter. They just do. And we be once a dream to God until we became the truth. As he opened his eyes in triple dark skies, with all his might he cried, "Let there be light." And we lit, dancing in the street, our feet sending rhythmic vibrations deep beneath the earth. She matches the magic of commuting. It's sacred communication with community, conducting energy, live wire, giving live fire direction in the efforts of nourishing and protecting. As we reach for the sky, she holds us down, securing the source to the sound. No reason to find our place, we come and go here. So no matter what else lives here, we will always grow here, our roots traced through any land. Not captivated by nationality, there's no place we've never been, no boundaries in love and kin. When you come from the earth, you only go with the wind. And if you listen, the gentle wisp of the sky sound like a mother's cries as she prays her children, make it home to her. Through her reverence, we be carried and able to fly through her promise with the Most High, and water breaks. Free from the weight of fear as God responds to her tears, we are relieved, and our resistance to find the sky has no limits when you reach for the sun. But it only burns as bright as your focus. So focus be precious, like gentle notions, valuable but never token. See, we are reflections, worthy of attention. of mamas who made more than meals in their kitchens. Their recipes bind curses, enlighten intention. We are walking word, wisdom, transcribed on the soles of our feet. Encourage her. She inspires me. Turn house to home and keep it clean. See, mama said closets have woodworks too. And turning the light on will brighten your point of view. Your fears be dust, debris, like fallen leaves from trees. Get you a broom and breathe, but never sweep your feet. As we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, keep your direction discreet and be conscious about your sugar, because ain't nothing else here sweet. See, God is alive in the light on your cheeks. Remember your grace, as the earth shall be inherited by the meek. There ain't no shade of color that can't come from the dirt. No matter who you are, we all have the same mother, earth. Y'all want to hear something new?
Yeah. Yes.
That's on your show.
New shit.
Oh yeah, that is what they say. Don't they?
So, yeah, we're going to transition really quick. This poem is called Christ on a Cracker. They say a church is sacred holy ground, the only place where God can be found, and a pastor is a holy shepherd, ordained by God to lead his sheep. A congregation is a fellowship where children of God meet. It's got to be a magical place, because it's the only one where flesh is not meat, but instead a pale, thin, white cracker. And if I don't favor the flavor of this wafer, my faith is wavered and my soul needs saving. Well, if it makes me a heathen to hear God's voice crunch beneath my feet when the leaves change seasons, then so be it. The earth my inheritance, the world the church to me, where divine creation crafted diversity, a gift for all humanity, not just those prone to go with the flow of Christianity. The Bible describes Christ as omnipresent and unmutable, and I have concrete evidence. I'm talking irrefutable that God is not confined to the halls and walls of man-made temples. I've met God in places simple like dusty bookshelves on college campuses. Dissertations about neurological synopsis felt Christ's breath come up out of coffins. And living words telling stories of deceased men. I found God in my kitchen cabinets, omnipresent in my pots and pans, and between the tiny fingers of my daughter's hands, and the details of a lover's plans for me. Relegating eternal omniscience to four walls is blasphemy, but that's the sermon your preacher preaching. Man, I've received better blessings in my own reflection. On the tail end of life lessons from lost souls who found God in the change I gave them, and what I could never figure out is how communion wine ain't burning tongues when a child's sacred places were forced into the same mouths. Y'all weird as hell. Yes, I mean demons. From the pews to the pulpit, judgmental elders got children looking for guidance, left feeling confused and worthless, while pastors impregnate impressionable reformed prostitutes. Yeah, he's seen God and you all right. Discovered miracles between the asses of his huddled masses. He breaking hearts and backs while our grandmother's pensions purchased brand new Cadillacs. Yeah, it's been cold in hell for a long time. Since the Crusaders crossed seas to please popes who couldn't read or somehow missed it when the holy word said Jesus' flesh looked like brass that had been burned in a furnace with hair like lamb's wool, because they offered the world an image of a white king's nephew and killed everybody that was openly opposed to it. Murderers, in the name of a Jesus slain by deities who couldn't fathom not having every heart hung off of their every word. I heard King James was of the same vein as these, living his wildest fantasies while half of the world is indoctrinated to his fallacies, on their knees in belief that heaven is the reward for gladly accepting a life of agony, replacing have no other gods before me with obey your earthly masters. Most of us can't tell if that's our politicians or our managers, bowing our heads for grace between desert and disaster, weeping and gnashing our teeth, our people praying for the rapture, traded in the miracles of still waters and green pastures for stained glass windows and selfish insidious pastors. Our needs being met at the mercy of morally bankrupt manufacturers, but I guess that's what you get when you confuse the entire body of Christ with one cracker. Poem. I ain't preaching, but I praise him. My daddy a hero, he saved sinners. Feeding the masses off his daily bread. God that made me a breadwinner. Winner, chicken dinner. Okay. Satisfied with the food on my plate. Count my eggs and I stay out the way. It don't matter if they hatch or they don't. I'm getting chicken out of either way. Brick by brick, I was made for it. Got down on my knees and I prayed for it. Matriarch in my soul from birth. I don't play about them girls I birthed. Breaking chains up in heaven and earth. Generational blessings, not curses. That's what's promised in these Bible verses. Satan, get thee behind me. Not a game, so don't try me. Stay off the TV and the internet. That ain't nothing but the blind leading. Might have ignored some signs, but I ain't never been blind. Hindsight, insight, and foresight. My people's got divine leaders. Visions infinite, I'm creating. Death is not, so my time I'm taking. Got a well on me, never tap out. And love on people even when they be hating. Haters do need love too. And trust me, baby, I love you. And ain't a thing you can do about it. So you might as well love too. That's called I'd Love To. And while we are on the subject of love, I have another one called Tendernism. I had a man once suggest that he was thawing me out, often referred to his own arms as a microwave when I was set inside them. Small jolts of electricity danced across my skin. I caved, spinning round and round under the intensity of his waves. Mistook the shock to my system as butterflies. So excited to feel any kind of warmth, I ignored how cold I still was inside. And he did too. Swallowed up my burning flesh only to stop abruptly at what was too hard or cold to chew. The rest of me was left over in the darkness of his heart. At first I was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He kept coming back until there was barely enough left of me to even be considered a snack. This man had a fridge that was a funeral. From my Tupperware of fresh meat, I witnessed pallbearers of raw chicken veiled thinly in black, standing next to closed cardboard caskets. Dominoes didn't quite get the body right. I thought I was different, but my complex layers of flavors could not possibly be savored by a man with no taste. See, I needed tendernism. Love me till I fall off the bone. I wasn't meant to be fast food. I'm a soulful roast at home, soaked in brine, like a spiritual bath ran by an alchemist, covered in herbs and prayers and layers of oil, placed in an altar of an oven and refined over real fire, like 100 candles burning, until the fragrance of love fills the room like incense. The romance of aromas greeting you at the door like a gift you left at home for yourself. The difference between junk food and a real meal is intimacy. Not manufactured chemistry. I need to be doted over, sprinkled and basted by someone who has the patience to let me cook while staying put in the kitchen, knowing that even the fires of love can be unpredictable and require his attention. I'm talking tendernism. That only comes from years of practice, the relationship you have with cookware after you've burned a couple batches, developing skills that ensure you are nurtured and thrilled by satiating meals. Stump your feet and smack your mama. Throw your glasses across the room. This kind of delectable can't be duplicated. Curated specifically for me by you. See, an intentional eater won't unwrap you until you stop clinging to your own bones and feel safe enough to fall apart. If you know you are what you eat, even a piece of meat deserves to be treated like a work of art. And he failed to find the right seasoning. Took me out the freezer for no reason. Bored with what was already on his plate, I guess he thought my anger would add spice to his life, or that he could palate my hate. Maybe it's not about me. And he didn't believe he deserved quality food, which is even sadder. There's nothing like confusion and anxiety to make a meal go bad faster. Good thing I've always been more than what could be consumed. Nothing compares to God's craft, no matter how much he failed to see treasure. I ain't never been a man's trash. Even if he does eat garbage, starving to death in his solipsism, could have saved himself the stress of digesting the mess if he tried a little tenderness.
I just have that song stuck in my head.
Okay. Clap if you've ever lost someone. So a lot of these poems in this book happened after my grandma passed away, and me trying to process the absence of her life and the impending absence of my own. So, that being said, I'm going to do, I think, like 2 or 3 more poems, and then I'm going to let y'all go. This one is called Schrodinger's Cat. The fear of death does not threaten me. I know all too well it is to come. Thought it would have gotten here sooner. I consider all the deaths responsible for my life. I appreciate their sacrifice. Be fruitful and multiply. Replenish the earth. Not a suggestion, a command. I look at the brown leaves on my houseplants. My sister tells me I don't care for them well, but I know dying pieces to be evidence of life prevailing. I forgive them for not being green. They remind me that I need more than water. That death is a season, not a period at the end of a life sentence. If only life could be a sentence. A simple statement providing an experience predicated by a subject and then ending indefinitely. I wonder, if I put a question mark at the end of mine, would the answer be more time? Sometimes I wish that I could gather up my moments and entomb them in my arms to keep them safe from blowing away every second. There is no security for a moment, no loss prevention. It's impossible. They move too fast. You'll rip yourself apart holding on to them if I were to try. I could not blame the moment itself for the blood on my hands. Could we cherish our lives without the potential for violence? The valley of the shadow of death does not contain an evil soul, but fear does have the potential to foster faith, even to its own demise. No, death does not bother me, but loss. Loss has a laundry list of grievances. Not a sentence if the subjects keep coming up missing. Just a never-ending loop of lists that only the living can answer for. And I know for a fact that I've been dead before. So I give my list to God. Poem. This one is Seasons. Or no. Oh, sorry. Let's do Sound Awake. My ears welcome the aggressive signaling of the coming and going of every second on my analog clock. Its heartbeat like rhythm, soothing and daunting simultaneously. The wind rushes past my thin windows and shouts, hello, offering me chilled hugs and a rattle, touching me without consent. I am uncomfortable, but I am unharmed. My sheets draw their breath in as they behold my skin. The uncharitable smoke detectors beep periodically, one after the other, reminding me that I am currently powerless to change a battery. My refrigerator hums as it generates prolonged life for dead things. The water it requires moving around the thin plastic veins of the machine, swishing as it goes about being frozen and thawed repeatedly. I consider the life cycle of my own blood, wondering what noises it makes on its commute to work. From the bathroom, the toilet sighs every now and then, begging for company. A lonely sound, but also a reminder that there is no use in retaining waste. You'll feel much better when you let that shit go. The drain in the tub gurgles, settling the arguments of what rises and falls for the day, while the faucet instigates yet another disagreement, pattering on insistently, making the drain responsible for whatever comes out of it. The drain groans again. I know, baby. What a tireless existence, mediating the tension of expression, guiding the relentless and unpredictable water. A perpetual motion with no singular motive, taking bits of you with it every time it passes through. The furnace roars to life as spontaneously as the temperature drops. like a fire-breathing dragon, turning over its pillow through the night, snoring in resignation to the automation of keeping warm. Amazing how it goes right back to sleep after it. At least one of us achieves slumber. The cars go by one, upsetting the wind, aggravating the fallen leaves of the season. They rustle and wrestle with the air, crunching about as they try to hold on to the grass and concrete as if to explain, why can't I just rest in peace? Obedient machines, announcing their presence as they animate under the intentional power and direction of their maker, breaking the surface tension as they alter the wind. I ponder my own existence in the world, under the intentional, powerful direction of my own maker. I forgive the automobiles. They know not what they do. My breath announces itself against my pillow as every key I touch typing this on my iPhone auditions for a spot in the airwaves. The electricity in everything buzzing like pollinating bees. I wonder what nectar I've offered to their consistent presence in my life. My eyelids don't make noise as they blink heavily, at least not any noise that I can hear. As they close for the night, I wonder what lives on the frequency that can hear my eyelids crash against each other, only to push each other apart again. No matter how long they've been together, they separate just as quickly as the analog clock announces the coming and going of time. So, when I was in elementary and middle school, I experienced a lot of bullying. Make some noise if you ever experienced bullying. And this is my last poem. I'm gonna leave y'all with. I actually wrote this in middle school. One of the names that people used to call me is Midnight. And I had this practice then where I wrote myself well. So even if I couldn't naturally obtain a feeling of wellness, I used my gift to rewrite the story, create a new recipe for whatever the language was. And so, yeah, this poem, Midnight, came out of that. Yeah, that's what they call me, the middle of the night. They say my skin's as dark as this, and I say that they are right. I am a painting on a blue-black space. The darker brown fills in my face. I'm a young woman carved from the midnight sky. The clouds in my head, the stars in my eyes. And I got beauty that keeps on growing. See, God took midnight and created this young. Thank you.